Yeah. I've always enjoyed Evelyn.
Evelyn
Anchors, who I've been mispronounced my entire life.
Evelyn Anchors, Evelyn Onkers.
Whoever. Me, right?
Onkerlin Evelyn Evers.
Yeah, I think that's her real name.
Onkelin Evers?
Yeah.
That's got to be it.
Yeah, it's me, right?
Yeah, you're Onkelin Evers in this one, so make sure you get it right.
Okay.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of
Ghost of Frankenstein.
My son, would you destroy that which I, your father, dedicated his life to creating? What if it had another brain?
Whose brain?
Your brain.
Bother! What good is a brain without eyes to see?
I warned you that you might regret this action.
Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, oh my God, I was trying to remember
what we are?
No,
we're a movie.
The name I was supposed to use.
Oh yeah, well,
it's completely lost.
Who knows?
Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the universe of Frankenstein films minute by minute. I am Evelyn Eker. I don't remember what you did.
Yeah,
no idea
that's
what you
right.
just said.
You got it. You nailed it.
All right.
And I'm Lon Chaney Jr., and you join us for minute 46 of All New Thrills, The Ghost of Frankenstein, starring Sir Cedric Hardwicke. And if you're joining us if you're a Patreon, you're joining us on April 4th.
And there's no reason why you shouldn't be.
And there's no reason you shouldn't be. Yeah, if you're not, skip over this part. You're not entitled to listen to this part. You have no right to listen. Because, as we all know, April 4th is the anniversary of nothing at all. There's nothing that happened on April 4th.
I don't even
tried to find something?
No, I just don't get out of bed on the 4th.
Yeah, it's the 4th of April. Yeah, that's the day we don't do nothing. Tomorrow, though, if you're just a regular listener, or if you're a Patreon and you didn't feel like listening to it
didn't bother
the following day,
today.
Couldn't be bothered. It's, of course, the anniversary. We all celebrate the anniversary of the release of She-Wolf of London in 1946.
Stellar production.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, you know what?
I probably have seen it.
I saw it on the original Horror Incorporated.
Oh, boy.
Back in the late 70s, probably, midnight on a Saturday.
Yeah.
She-Wolf of London. This will be awesome. It's female werewolf. This will be great.
Yeah, what could be, the title promises so much.
So, yeah. And no.
Is London in it, at least?
That's about the only thing of the title that's in it, yeah.
And so I'm guessing they went to London, of course, to film it.
Oh, clearly they're not on the back lot at all, yeah.
If you've decided to wait until Sunday to listen, Gavin Gordon was born on this day in 1901.
We should go and rifle his grave.
It's funny you should mention his grave, because on this day in 1983, Gavin Gordon died. He died on his own birthday.
He did, yes.
Which is really the goal, I think, for any reasonable person.
That's,
that you want to leave a nice... Yeah, did Shakespeare do that?
Apparently, and it's...
Did you leave a Kleenex out for me because of last time?
No, I just didn't use it. But it is, you can certainly...
Because I like how you left in me blowing my nose. I noticed. You can hear me blow my nose on the podcast.
Well, it's hard to edit around it, so I just thought, okay.
That's good enough for me.
Shakespeare, my birthday, I share with William Shakespeare.
Oh, I see.
And I share that same writing talent.
I was going to say, well, you share it, but you're clearly... Look, he was in the old days, so you've advanced on what he... he's not irrelevant, but he's not as good as you.
45 episodes of Horror Incorporated is nothing to sneeze at,
Nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, you probably got him beat there.
Yep, and like 30 unproduced scripts. And
30 unproduced scripts. We should publish those unproduced scripts.
Should, yeah.
Do you want to fake your death so we can maybe get some sales? Is this lost talent?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't even know.
It's April 4th. Okay. And what happens in minute 46 of All New Thrills?
Well, they are new thrills because...
It's a very thrilling
It's a thrilling minute. It's people standing around in an office talking. And what is more cinematic than that?
Yeah, now, if you remember last week, we talked about... this bringing together of all the talents. You got Eric.
Yeah, you got Ralph Bellamy.
Cedric
Hardwicke.
Onkelin Evers.
Yep.
Hardrick Seedwick.
Leyland Hodgson. We got Leyland Hodgson. We'll talk about him a little bit later.
All right. And what happens?
Well,
How did we start?
Ludwig has said somewhere between last minute and this that it appears you've done all that is possible. And
then he walks away,
walks over
not at all suspiciously.
Not at all.
Oh, looks like you got that covered.
Yeah,
Anything else?
Everything's cool. So he goes over and pretends.
Hey, did you see the big game?
Pretends to rifle through some shit on his desk.
Yep.
Yeah, not acting guilty at all.
No.
Yeah.
And it's not going to get worse either.
No, it's not. No, he really covers his ass.
Yeah, he's
pretty
amazing
good.
at it.
Yeah, camera sort of tracks laterally with him and then reframes so that he's behind his desk, center frame.
Yep.
And Eric and Elsa are flanking him left and right of the screen.
Yeah, Eric and Elsa, the good folk band from the 60s.
And she's almost as tall as Ralph Bellamy in these shots too. I don't know.
Interesting. How tall is Ralph Bellamy?
Ralph looks like he's a good 6.
He does.
Eric says a creature like that couldn't pass long unnoticed.
And I think that's fair. I think that's in fact more fair than the writers of this series would have you think. I mean, because he seems to be sneaky and shit.
He's pretty stealthy. But
he's a stealthy monster.
And we'll see that coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah, good point.
Really stealthy.
Still stealthy.
Which, yeah, I think realistically, probably that wouldn't be borne out.
Yep.
You know.
But he's right. You can't. In the book Frankenstein, he lives in a shed. He's got to hide
for quite a while.
He's in hiding.
He hides there. He helps them on the farm. He steals their books to learn how to read and talk and all that stuff. Which I think that's a brilliant way to have him learn all this stuff without having to be amongst society, which obviously doesn't work out real well.
No, society doesn't seem to
have a good track record.
Well, and that's what we're talking about here, right?
Yeah.
You just can't look like that. Maybe take the big boots off. Maybe just
wear some sneakers.
Wear some sneakers. Maybe a t-shirt.
Lose the goth look.
Maybe put on that hat that Eric has, that fedora.
Yeah, there you go.
See if you can get one that'll fit that giant head of yours.
You might have to reblock it.
You might have to have it reblocked
to fit the block of his head.
But even then, it's probably going to look fucked up.
Yeah,
it's going to be.
It's going to have corners.
It's going to look like the man with the yellow hat from Curious George. It's just going to be all swollen no matter what you do.
We're off to a flying start this week.
I was up late at the Colin Hay show.
Yeah, well, I was up late watching these minutes. So.
Oh, shoot. Well, somebody's got to do the work. Somebody's got to put in the work.
And editing, last week's episode.
Oh, my God.
It's a heavy cross.
It is. It is.
Eric,
I'm not mocking that. It is. It's work.
Eric continues. Obviously, someone's offering him refuge.
Refuge.
Yeah. He says it weird.
Does he?
A little bit. I was going to say this later on, but I'll say now that usually Ralph Bellamy is a pretty engaging performer. He's the buffoon in things like His Girl Friday, My Favorite Wife. Okay. Or The Awful Truth, rather. And he's very engaging in those roles.
Yeah.
Trading Places, who doesn't love him in that, right? In this and in The Wolf Man, I can't stand him.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a stiff dick.
Yeah.
And I just don't care for him. And if these were the only movies I'd ever seen him in, I'd write him off as a terrible actor.
So what's weird about you saying that is I tend to do this because we do it minute by minute, and then I get lost in the series of minutes that we're watching, and then I kind of forget what the movie is around it sometimes. And with Bellamy in particular, he's Elsa's boyfriend. And on that level, he doesn't work at all.
Not at all, no.
But as a stiff cop coming in to
as the town
shake
prosecutor
his fist and pull out a flashlight,
he's fine.
But there's supposed to be layers in this minute in particular, and they don't really play out too well because one guy's playing a robot.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Ludwig kind of looks up. I'm not sure what emotion he's trying to. He's
what emotion Cedric is trying to?
Yeah, he's taking a page out of Chaney Jr.'s acting book here.
I guess.
Not really giving us a whole lot to work with.
I guess. Yeah.
I think he's feigning annoyance with this whole thing.
Feigning annoyance?
Yeah, for Eric's benefit. Like he's annoyed, but it's masking his trying to not look guilty, is what I'm reading in it.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know that comes across.
I guess you're right. That is the situation. So therefore, that is what he's doing. Yeah, but I guess that's the only way to play that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, is to feign annoyance. But he's mailing it in. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and someone who's not mailing it in but could have is Evelyn.
Okay.
She has literally nothing to do in this entire scene. She doesn't utter a sound from the moment she walks in till we cut away.
Well, there are a couple of things that happen, but we'll get there.
She does
She
stuff.
does things. She does
things for me. But basically, she has to just stand around and look concerned.
Well, we'll get
You
there.
know, it's no. But as I said after we watched the minute just before we started to record, that I just love her.
Yes. Oh, it's true. You're it's good to reiterate that after the way it sounded.
It's not like I ever had a crush on her or anything, but I've always she's a very solid presence in these.
Okay.
Even in those Inner Sanctum movies.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen maybe enough of her work.
Which get knocked around a lot,
Yeah.
and some of them rightly so. But she's in a couple of them, and she's a very grounding presence in those terrible jungle captive woman, wild whatever they are.
Is she the wild woman?
No, thankfully she's not.
She's this.
She's the voice of reason. Well, she has very little to do, but she brings a good presence to it.
Okay, and that's what she does here.
Yes.
The powerhouse combination of Ralph Bellamy and Cedric Hardwicke needs a little
grounding.
And she brings that grounding
she
by
does.
standing there and looking between the two of them.
Yep, absolutely. You could do the voice. Do you have his reply?
What are you trying to insinuate, Eric? Are you saying that Elsa's banging the monster on the side?
I didn't read that from.
Oh, is that not right?
I didn't get that from watching it, but maybe I'm not watching it in the
That must
right
be
way.
what he's insinuating. Someone is.
What are you? And at this point, they've substituted Ralph Bellamy with a statue of him. Doesn't react.
Yeah.
He just stands there.
Yeah.
Again, taking a page out of Chaney's acting book. Apparently, everybody don't do
That's
anything.
kind of true, isn't it? Yeah.
Kenton is like, nobody do a thing. Everybody
Yeah.
just stand there.
Yeah.
Perhaps you would care to search the estate. But I warn you, if you contemplate such a presumption, you will not be welcome here in the future as my guest.
The one thing I think is odd in that is the use of the word presumption, because you don't say, hey, would you like to go bowling? But I warn you,
If you
contemplate such a presumption, and then it's like it's on me now. It's like,
Well,
you're the one who fucking brought it up. How is it my presumption?
I think again here he's trying to.
He's saying the presumption is on you that you even have the right to do such a thing.
Yes, I think so, and he's also trying to again deflect. It's like, well, yeah, you go ahead and do whatever you want to do, but hey, don't come back here again. Expect any kind of friendly reception.
At the risk of you having to put in a sound effect, maybe I won't say the name. He reminds me of one of our former presidents who says more than he means to, basically.
Yeah.
Because if he says, feel free to search the estate, and then maybe starts fumbling for a cigarette, that works better than, but I'll warn you, you're never coming back. You're fucking dead to me. Well, you look guilty, asshole. And that's the problem with the former president that I'm not going to name, is he looks guilty already, and he just constantly says little things like this in his speeches that you go, well, if you left that part out, like a human wouldn't do that.
Wouldn't actually say that, yeah.
Now you sound worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no,
It's like, I didn't kill her, but if I did, man, I would have done it just like this.
Exactly.
He's that guy.
Exactly.
And this is where
what
it's
he's doing,
starting
yeah.
he's deflecting in the wrong way.
Well, and searching the estate seems like a perfectly reasonable request, because even if he's not hiding the monster, it is possible that he's there.
Yeah, well, a good point. Absolutely.
He's been seen around the area, so we're just searching everywhere.
Right, that would make sense.
He actually later says we've looked here, there, everywhere.
So you don't think that Eric thinks that Elsa is banging the monster and that he's in her bedroom?
No,
and he brought the cops in to find the other man.
No, this isn't a Hammer movie, so.
Okay. I get it.
And, Ludwig saying these things, like you said, just makes him look more and more guilty.
Yeah.
And it's not going to get better.
Nope.
Because...
Although, where that's concerned, is in my own life, what I would do is err in the other direction. I'll go ahead and look guilty and say, no, you can't search this.
No.
Go fuck yourself.
That's the reason.
I know
think,
you're a cop. You've probably got a bag of heroin. You're going to drop it in my bedroom. That whole thing.
Yeah, no, I think, I don't know about this area, but for now, here in the United States, at the time of recording, you have that right to tell them
Exactly.
no. You've got a search warrant, otherwise get the fuck out.
You might have a point. I think Visaria went the other route, which is to only employ the Keystone cops.
Yes.
They're a bunch of bumbling idiots.
Yes, they are.
They could go ahead and search whatever they want.
Yeah, right.
Just kick them over.
And Eric and Elsa look at each other, and
yeah, that's a thing.
that's a thing that happens. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
because
it's an attempt to give them some chemistry that doesn't exist, first of all.
Yes,
And
I agree with
establish
that.
a relationship that's really not there.
I agree with that. It's a minor problem, but I agree with it. What I do like is she looks between them. Like she's like, wait a minute, search the estate? That's no good.
not a good
this
idea.
is bad news.
Yeah.
And she looks back to her dad too, like, wait a second,
Yeah.
what? You're gonna what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
And so again, that presence you're talking about, it's just a glance, a glance to the right and a glance to the left,
right.
and it adds that flavor. Yeah, she's doing great work.
Yeah, your eyes
With
are
nothing.
drawn. Your eyes are drawn to her because it's the only
Because
thing
of her
going
tits.
on.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. My eyes. Comparatively.
Wow. That won't be necessary if you'll permit me to have a few words with Dr. Kettering.
Oh, I like that you're trying to do a
Bellamy, but I failed.
That won't be necessary. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I can't.
If you'll permit me to have a few words with Dr. Kettering, and then you did the music.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Why Dr. Kettering and not Dr. Bomer? Like, he
So
seems to be fixated on Kettering.
Well, and
I mean, we'll see it gets worse.
yeah, and at this point, nobody realizes that Kettering's missing or anything like that. We'll
Well,
find that
he's
out.
the only one in the room that doesn't think that.
Well,
they got the cops, I guess.
right. Well,
They're not people.
because there's been nothing to indicate that. We'll find out shortly. There's a very small amount of time has elapsed from
Yes.
the monster killing Kettering till now. And
Right.
it does help bring the timeline into a little sharper focus.
And maybe this is when she does that look, actually. Maybe I got it wrong. Because she knows what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So she's clearly concerned. Or actually, now I remember, what happens is that's when she walks away. She has to be walking away after he says, permit me to speak with Dr. Kettering.
Yep.
Because,
this is where she turns and walks away.
Yeah, so she's like,
Oh,
this
fuck.
is fucked.
Yeah.
So she's not helping, but she's also not hurting things too
No,
much
I
because
think-
it's a movie
I
and
think-
she needs she has been told to move to this spot and the other guy's going to come in and take her spot.
If her motivation for that motion was questioned, she's just like, this is more than I can handle.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
That's true.
not be in the middle of this right now.
That's
'cause,
true.
You know, there is some justification for doing that.
Yep.
Plus, there's tension now between supposedly her fiance, I'm still not convinced, and her father. I'm really not convinced of that either. But so, there's all these reasons.
Yes, there's
for
plenty.
her to do this.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not an unmotivated. When he says this, you move over there, kind of a thing.
And all I was saying was I like the additional motivation of her actually knowing what happened.
Knowing
to
what's
Dr.
going on,
Kettering.
yeah. And then Ludwig just, here again, give him enough rope.
Yeah,
and he comes
exactly.
up with the lamest
The
excuse.
guy from Rope. Give
Yeah.
him enough rope.
Yep. He comes up with the lamest possible excuse for not producing Kettering at this point. Oh, there was illness in the family. Had to go.
Owing to an illness.
Yeah.
And his family. He's fine. Don't ask him.
Yeah.
But maybe he's not fine.
And he does say it kind of fumbling as
He does,
well.
yeah.
So, you're not doing yourself any...
Well, he says everything like that, though,
Well, he
so
does,
there's
but
that.
again, like a former president who continually incriminates himself.
That's right.
Ludwig does the same thing.
Yeah, he's got no... just lost my mind. Press secretary or whatever.
Yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
he does.
There's no help.
No.
Elsa, for example,
You could have-
got nothing to say.
Well, she could have stepped in and tried to diffuse this a little bit, too.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point. She doesn't help at all.
No, she's like, fuck this, man.
She's made up her mind, and these two men are gonna fucking do whatever they're gonna do, and I'll just be there to pick up the pieces when it's over.
Here we go again.
Hopefully there'll be some pieces.
Yeah.
Although most of these tend to end in fires, so we'll see.
At this point, Eric would be justified in having the Gestapo haul Ludwig off for questioning.
Good point. Forgot it's 40. Yeah. 42. The
Late
Gestapo
41,
is not
in full swing.
full swing, and they're not. They don't have a sense of humor.
Particularly.
They don't particularly care what your story is.
Yeah, no.
It's a bad time over.
Yeah,
in
so
that
he
part
could
of the
just say, you know what, take him in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Particularly, I don't
Eric
know.
Himmler
Yeah,
got a plan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got a solution for all of this.
What the justice system is in Visceria, or if there even was one, but
either way, they're going to claim innocence. They didn't know.
yeah, no, they were just doing their job.
Following orders.
Yep.
As you're dressed up like a clown. I'm just trying to make it better. I'm not trying to.
Hopefully soon that will be. We'll be able to see that.
Hopefully, or who knows? It can't be good, right?
Oh no, you've heard Harry Shearer talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like the most perfect thing he's ever seen because everything about it was so perfectly wrong in every possible way.
They should put that on the poster.
Yes. Oh yeah.
People know what we're talking about. It's Jerry Lewis's
The Day the Clown
Cried,
which he shot it completed in the early 70s, and then stories vary that he either refused to release it or the rights owners of the book stopped it from being released for some reason or another. So it has sat in his, quote, vault till he died, and he would refuse to talk about it even. People would bring it up in an interview, and he was profanity-laced response to it. And supposedly, I've heard that he would carry one of those metal suitcases that it was locked in. He would carry it with him at all times. the video master of it or something.
It's like Escape from New York, and he's Donald Pleasance,
exactly.
and he's got it handcuffed to himself.
I don't know if he handcuffed it, but
and he's got 2 tapes in there. One of them is Cabby's tape.
Yeah.
That's not how the movie went, but I'd like to think
it was.
Maybe it was in there. The cabbie had already given him a mixtape,
yeah.
So he had both of them in there.
Here,
that's the secret of Escape.
Listen to this. You're gonna like it.
You're gonna love it.
You're really gonna like it. Anyway,
this is a great podcast.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's one of the greatest.
No wonder we're up for that Rondo
Yeah,
Award.
that's right. Well, the less said, the better.
Yeah,
maybe.
apparently.
I don't know. We'll get there.
Yeah, and like Patton Oswalt would do live readings of the script.
Of what?
Of The Day the Clown Cried.
Okay. I guess I didn't realize there was a full script in circulation.
Apparently, and I couldn't find it, but
okay.
Lewis's lawyers put a stop to it pretty quickly.
Okay.
And then they would just kind of recap it instead.
Okay. They did that to you, right? You and one of our listeners got shut down on YouTube, was it?
Oh, yeah. It was for Universal shut down. It was...
it just stopped working?
No, he got
listener of the show, a contributor to the show.
Mike Herman.
I don't know.
He does these Zooming the Movies where you read the script via a Zoom so people all around the world can participate in it, and you have your characters. I did Pretorius in his version.
Okay.
And partway through, he just broke in and said, yeah, look, I just heard from Universal.
Heard from Universal? Jesus.
Cease and desist.
Wow.
And so we just continued to finish it just for the fun of it, but yeah, it couldn't be.
So there's a recording somewhere on somebody's laptop.
I think I have it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've thought about editing it and putting like the music in and stuff, but it's hard enough getting this fucking thing done.
Agreed.
He was here yesterday evening. I saw him.
Yeah, does Eric have object permanence?
Apparently.
He was here yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
So were you.
Yeah.
That's not it's not that's not saying a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point he doesn't really need to come up. This is where the guilt stuff really starts to fall apart. This is where it becomes. This is why lying is so hard, because the answer to "I saw him yesterday" is okay.
Okay.
He's not here
this
now.
Morning or whatever.
I'm not his fucking dad.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Does he live? Does he even live there? I guess he does.
I guess so.
Everybody just lives there.
I guess.
I don't know what's going on.
Eric's got a little apartment up on the top of the.
This is where fucking Ludwig should be like, I kicked him off the estate. It's like his brother.
Yeah.
I shot him.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do about it?
Fucking asshole.
It's like the opposite of his brother.
Yeah, like,
his brother was just the belligerent asshole.
Yeah, Ludwig is just like,
hold him down and spit on him.
I don't know. Yeah, doing Snickers
He
snags.
just turned in Snickers snags. Wow. Snickers snags. When's the last time you said that?
Probably
oh my
like
goodness.
1977 or something. Yeah.
Jeez. That's something. That's what I mean.
Dredge
That's what we're talking
I was
about.
just thinking like what an older brother would do.
Exactly. Well, that is what I meant.
Yeah. Although I am of the belief, as Dr. Alex Zorka has...
that
Ludwig,
that's right. Ludwig is the older brother. That works, yeah.
I think that works better.
Yeah. Well, that compounds the misery, because his little brother used to
pick on him. Yeah.
Well,
little brother's about a foot
What are you going to do about it?
He's about a foot taller and has a much more forceful personality.
In every way, yeah.
On screen and off.
I was going to say,
non-canon.
No, I don't even know what I was going to say now, because I was trying to listen to what you were saying and talk. My brain just basically
just shut down. Yeah. And that also,
it's podcast time. Time for the brain to shut down.
Him seeing Kettering the day before gives it a little bit of a timeline, like I had said earlier.
Yeah.
We were unclear how long has Kettering been dead.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's true. If he was alive yesterday, then he was alive yesterday.
Alive yesterday, and this is just the next day.
We didn't see Eric yesterday, but...
Did we?
I guess we could.
Yeah, we
Maybe
did.
we did.
Yeah, we did. I think we
did.
did, yeah. Major Hochstetter joins Eric.
Major Hochstetter?
Yeah, joins them. And
he's
Ludwig
played by... Oh,
well, we'll get... Yeah, as soon as he speaks, we'll...
All right. He steps into Elsa's place because Elsa walks away because it's like I said before, well, I saw him yesterday, and she's like, gotta go.
Ooh. Yeah.
Ooh.
Is it? Yeah, I gotta take a bath.
Yep.
Yeah. Quite so. He left early this morning. Again, a lame excuse, but it's a logical thing that could happen. Yeah, you saw him yesterday. Yeah, he left today. Fuck you.
He left. He's leaving right now. He left 1 minute ago. I just look at him.
You just missed him.
If you would have just turned and looked out the window, you could have seen him. He had his bags packed.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's a reasonable thing.
Yep.
Eric and Hochstetter look at each other. You were at the station to watch Morning Train.
Why? Why was he at the station to watch the morning? Is he train spotting?
He must be.
Is Hochstetter train spotting?
He must.
Is he camel spotting?
Yeah, he is camel.
The dromedary has 2 hubs. And a camel has an engine and a.
It's not a Frankenstein Minute episode without
a Monty Python
reference.
Oh, did you hear the latest? I don't know.
Dr. Kettering was not. I can't do this guy's voice at all.
You got to play it. Dr. Kettering was not on the morning train.
Joining us now on this is Mr. Leyland Hodgson.
Ah, okay.
Plays the Gestapo officer. He was born February 20th, 1960 in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Oh, wait, that's the wrong Hodgson. Sorry.
Oh.
October, I don't know. Yeah,
Are they any relation?
No, I have
Maybe.
no idea. I don't know. They can go on 23andMe to find out. If
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
October 5th, 1892 in London, England.
No kidding.
No kidding. Died March 16th, 1949 in Hollywood, California at the tender age of 56.
Jesus. That's old.
Back then, that was old. Yeah, no, not.
Is it not old now? It feels old to me.
I don't know. My wife just turned 56.
Well, it happens.
She doesn't feel.
Happens to the
she
best
doesn't
of
feel
us.
old.
Oh, hey. I can hear the sound effect already.
That's. Well, you know what Groucho says is that you're only as old as the woman you feel.
There you go. I just saw a Groucho quote about somebody was trying to figure out if it was true, as Groucho says. Yeah, no. Somebody was trying to figure out if it was true that this is what it boiled down to in my minimal amount of research. Apparently, Groucho said there was a pool that Jewish kids weren't allowed into, and he said, "Well, my daughter's half Jewish.
My son is half Jewish. Can she go up? Yeah, or my kids are half Jewish. Can they go? Yeah, I believe that's true.
That's a true one.
Yeah,
okay.
I believe that's true.
That's pretty good.
Yep. So
wouldn't have worked on the Gestapo.
No, they wouldn't have cared. So we have 175 credits for Mr. Hodgson from 1930 to 1949.
30 to 49. This is some of my favorite years.
Absolutely.
This is going to be great.
He's in a little something you might have seen called The Mummy.
Oh.
He's a guest at the party.
Oh, I was going to say. I looked a little bit.
I put the Blu-ray in and
You're
I
kidding.
looked like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's there. I don't know. Something
else. A lot of work. You put a lot of work into this podcast.
Something else you might have seen called A Day at the Races.
Oh, my goodness.
Did not look at that, but he's a policeman at the track, the racetrack.
Okay.
The Adventures of...
I know he's good at being a policeman.
Yep. Adventures of Robin Hood. Have you seen that
I still
yet?
haven't seen it.
Jesus
it's on my list.
Christ.
Yeah, I really got to see that.
Mystery of Mr. Moto. Mr. Moto's Last Warning.
No.
He's in a lot of Mr. Moto. You Can't Cheat an Honest Man with W.C. Fields.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
No,
of course not.
Could be.
Man in the Iron Mask.
How sad is it that I've seen the fucking
one from
Leonardo DiCaprio one?
Yeah, but not the James Whale. Yeah. Mr. Moto on Vacation. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. He's in.
Doing what?
Playing a Bobby or a character called Bobby. I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe both.
It could be.
Bobby the Bobby.
Pack Up Your Troubles with Laurel and Hardy. Invisible Man Returns, who everybody is in the Invisible Man Returns.
Really?
Because it has come up again and again and again when I do these lists.
I should go back and watch it.
Yeah, you should.
Do you ever see Vincent Price in that, or is it just his
At the
voice?
very end again. That's the same.
It's just like,
you might see him at the very beginning. I don't remember.
I feel like it starts. That's one of those ones, just like the original, where it kind of starts in the middle, like everything's already rolling.
I remember some kind of a jailbreak or something at the middle.
Maybe.
It's been such a long time. Rebecca. he is in.
Jeez.
Yeah, The Seahawk. I know you haven't seen that because it's come up again and again and again. The Great Dictator.
Oh, I've seen that.
He probably plays a Gestapo.
A Gestapo officer, yeah.
The Wolfman.
When was The Great Dictator? Is that before this?
Yeah.
I suppose it would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because wasn't it like 38, 39, something like that? It was.
I was guessing.
40.
I'm going to guess 40.
It's 40.
Yeah.
He's in The Wolfman. He plays the butler.
Really?
Yeah. To Be or Not to Be.
Jeez.
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I watched it with someone who didn't enjoy it. And then when you do that, you ever do that? It brings the movie down you a little bit?
It can, but then oftentimes I'll watch it again later by myself and
I might have to
take
do that.
And like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Strange Case of Dr. R.X. with Lionel Atwill.
All right.
My Favorite Blonde with Bob Hope. Sherlock Holmes, The Voice of Terror. Sherlock Holmes and the Secret Weapon. Sherlock Holmes in Washington. The Uninvited. Another one of my favorite movies. Great ghost movie. Invisible Man's Revenge.
He's a Bobby in that.
Probably. Sherlock Holmes and the Pearl of Death. Nothing But Trouble. Laurel and Hardy's worst movie.
Nothing But Trouble?
Laurel and Hardy's worst movie. By a long shot.
Is it the Dan Aykroyd Chevy Chase vehicle?
I'd rather watch that, and I love Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah.
So they made 2 films at MGM in the 40s, and they are absolute garbage. Frozen Ghost, it's one of those...
Abbott and Costello? No, let's hold that ghost.
It's one of those...
Inner Sanctum, yeah.
Yep. Strange Confession, which I think is another one.
Okay.
Terror by Night, Sherlock Holmes.
Sure.
A movie called Bedlam.
Back when they started to get good again. But Bedlam is a good one.
And Karloff, of course, is in. It's a great,
yeah.
And then Dressed to Kill. Ludwig shoots daggers at the constable.
Yeah. Fuck you, train spotter.
Yeah, right. The subtitles say that Eric says, "All shall have to risk your displeasure, Doctor."
You know, that's interesting because...
Did you notice that?
I did. And what I learned from that experience was something that is in the weeds as far as podcast preparation is concerned, but it was very interesting to me, which is that I always take the subtitles for the minute and I put it in my notes here and just copy and paste it. And it doesn't say that. That's when I learned that the subtitles on the Blu-ray must be an upgrade of some kind from the DVD, because the DVD, he says, "I'll have to risk your displeasure, Doctor." So arguably, "I'll shall" is closer because he says "I shall."
We shall, I think is what he says.
Either way, it's different is the point. Yeah.
We will search the premises. Very well. They exit and leave.
Oh man, my notes are out of order. I warn you, if you contemplate such presumption, although we already did all that. If you contemplate such a presumption, you will not be welcome here in the future as my guest.
Yeah. We already talked about that.
Anyways, never mind. My joke ain't going to work. I was going to say, you'll need to get a warrant if you want to bang my daughter.
Okay.
I'm not always sober when I write these.
I guess not. All right.
I like that Elsa doesn't take a side. She just hates this situation. She's just put in this situation.
She's stuck in the middle
she's
of...
not fond of how either one of them seem to be handling that.
Well, no, she's put in the middle of a lot of ugliness here.
Yeah.
And,
And now we're to the point of covering up a murder.
Exactly. And she's not...
She's
an accomplice to it.
An accomplice, yeah.
Because she knows about it and hasn't said anything. But she's not taking sides. She's not playing one side against the other.
She's just taking orders.
She's just following orders.
Following orders.
Yep.
Hardwick does not take a drag on his cigarette. He pretends to take a drag, but he doesn't. No smoke comes out.
Oh, I didn't.
And then,
not being a smoker, I guess I don't ever.
I tend to notice that because a lot of
Don does too. When she used to smoke.
When I used to smoke, you'd see people who'd be like, "Oh, give me a cigarette," because they want to look cool. And when you're a teenager or 20s, whatever, I don't know. I'm still not a grown up. You tend to judge people or whatever based on this stuff. So I'd noticed that when people take a drag on a cigarette, you can tell when they actually inhale it or not. And in movies, it's even more so. Well, in this one, he doesn't even pretend. He just puts it in his mouth and takes it away. Or else he takes a drag and then they cut to a different shot and he blew it before he could exhale. Yeah. I don't know. Did he die from lung cancer? Was he a smoker?
I don't know.
What do we know about Cedric Hardwick?
Light on his feet.
I see we've gone through all your notes.
Got any more questions, wise ass?
That sound of Bill stumbling to try to figure out how the fuck to use his phone can only mean one thing. It's time, once again, for got any wise ass comments, wise asses. Will Hohenstein, says, writes...
He hasn't contradicted that, so I'm assuming that's how you say it.
Yeah, I think so. I'm adding, I'll have to risk your displeasure to my personal lexicon. That's way better than saying, this might piss you off. I'll have to risk your displeasure, Doctor.
Yeah.
I like it.
You can sound very erudite if you say that, yes.
I'll use that at my next review.
Yeah.
I'll have to risk your displeasure.
By taking a shit on your desk because I disagree with everything you said.
There you go. And that, I think we're doing all right, right?
That's it for this minute then?
That's all we have in comments. Wise-ass comments for this minute.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
There's your answer. What did we do? What are we doing?
I have no idea anymore. I'm going to go take a nap.
Belong.